Once upon a time, there was a boy named Robert who lived in a small town in Hawaii. Robert had two very different father figures in his life. One was his poor dad, an educated and highly respected man who worked hard as a teacher. The other was his rich dad, the father of his best friend, who had little formal education but was a successful entrepreneur. From a young age, Robert noticed a big difference between the two men. The poor dad would tell him, "Study hard, get a secure job, and work hard to succeed in life." The rich dad, on the other hand, taught him, "Don't work for money, make money work for you." This difference intrigued him. How could there be two completely opposite views of the world? He decided to learn from both, but soon realized that Rich Dad's lessons were the ones that would change his life. The first lesson: money is a tool. One day, Robert asked Rich Dad how to become wealthy. The man smiled and said, "The first step is to understand the difference between assets and liabilities." To explain, he used a simple example. Assets are things that put money in your pocket, like a rental property or an investment. Liabilities, on the other hand, take money out, like a new car or a mortgage. Poor Dad, however, believed that a house was the greatest investment of a lifetime. But Rich Dad said, "If your house doesn't generate income, then it's just a debt disguised as an asset." Robert realized that the wealthy build wealth by accumulating assets, while the poor and middle class fill their lives with liabilities, hoping their salaries will cover the costs. The second lesson: the rat race. Rich Dad told Robert an imaginary story. Many people spend their lives stuck in the rat race. They work hard for a paycheck, pay their bills, then work even harder to earn more, but it's never enough. Robert asked, "How do you get out of this race?" Rich Dad replied, "You need to build sources of passive income. Instead of working for money, invest in something that makes money for you, even while you sleep." The third lesson: the courage to take risks. One day, Robert complained to Rich Dad, "But investing is risky. What if I lose everything?" Rich Dad looked at him seriously and said, "The biggest risk is doing nothing. Fear is what keeps most people stuck. You have to learn from your mistakes and make smart decisions, because those who don't act will always stay in the same place." Robert understood that failure wasn't an enemy, but a teacher. The epilogue: Robert's choice. As he grew older, Robert applied the lessons from Rich Dad. He started investing in real estate, building businesses, and learning how to manage money wisely. He didn't get trapped in the rat race and became financially free. Looking back, Robert realized one great truth. It's not how much you earn that makes you rich, but how you manage what you have. And so, Robert decided to share the lessons he had learned with the world, writing the book we now know as Rich Dad, Poor Dad. Moral of the story: true wealth doesn't come from a stable job or a high salary. It comes from the ability to make your money work for you and build a life of financial freedom.